Hello, everyone. Let's enjoy a warm story about kindness, hope, and a town rediscovering Christmas. Snow drifted gently over Evergreen Town, settling on rooftops like soft white blankets. Long ago, this town had been known for its joyful Christmas celebrations, ringing bells, glowing windows, and laughter that filled the streets. But this year, something had changed. The streets were quiet. Shops remained open, yet smiles were rare. Decorations were dull and scarce, and the great Christmas tree in the town square stood bare, its branches empty and lifeless. The people of Evergreen Town had forgotten why Christmas truly mattered. Children hurried past one another without greeting. Adults argued over work and money. Kindness had grown scarce, and no one stopped to help anyone else. Near the edge of town lived a kind-hearted 10-year-old boy named Oliver. He noticed what others seemed to ignore, the cold feeling that lingered beyond the winter air. Looking out at the darkened streets one evening, Oliver felt that something important was missing. Not gifts or toys, but something deeper, something warm. The next morning, as Oliver walked to school, snow crunching beneath his boots, he noticed an elderly man struggling near the old clock tower. Without hesitation, Oliver ran to help. Inside the man's heavy box lay a cracked and faded brass bell. Long ago, the bell had hung in the town square, ringing every Christmas morning as a reminder of kindness. But over time, people had stopped listening. The old man spoke gently, explaining that the bell could only be restored when people remembered the true meaning of Christmas. And just as suddenly as he had appeared, the man vanished into the falling snow. That day, the thought of the bell stayed with Oliver. When he noticed a classmate sitting alone with no lunch, Oliver chose to share his own food. In that small act, he felt a warmth stir in his chest. That evening, Oliver made a quiet promise to help bring Christmas back to Evergreen Town. From that day on, Oliver performed small acts of kindness. He shoveled snow, carried groceries, shared what little he had, and gave his time freely. At first, people were surprised. Then they were inspired. Kindness began to spread, not loudly or suddenly, but gently, like one candle lighting another. Oliver soon met Mara, a girl who avoided Christmas altogether. She carried sadness from losing her mother on Christmas Eve, and joy felt painful to her. Oliver didn't try to fix her sorrow. He simply stayed. In silence, he offered his presence. And in that moment, Oliver learned that sometimes the greatest gift is simply not walking away. On Christmas Eve, the town gathered in the square. The tree still stood bare, forgotten in the rush of busy lives. But Oliver stepped forward with an idea, that everyone bring something not bought, but shared or made. One by one, the tree was decorated with ribbons, cookies, handmade stars, and memories. When Mara placed a paper star bearing her mother's name on the branches, the tree began to glow, not with wealth, but with love. As midnight approached and snow fell heavier, a soft sound rang through the air. The bell had returned. High atop the clock tower, the brass bell glowed as if new. Beneath it stood the old man, smiling warmly. He reminded the town that Christmas lives wherever kindness lives. As the bell rang louder, a warm light spread through Evergreen Town, filling hearts with joy, tears, laughter, and love. On Christmas morning, the town awoke transformed. Neighbors greeted one another, children played freely, and even long-held sorrow softened. Oliver found a small gift waiting for him, a note thanking him for listening to Christmas, and a tiny brass bell. Years passed, and Oliver grew older, but he never forgot the lesson Evergreen Town had learned, that Christmas was never about noise, lights, or gifts. It was about sharing, helping, listening, and loving freely. And every Christmas morning, Oliver rang his bell, softly, gently, just loud enough for hearts to hear. So the moral of the story is, Christmas is not something you buy, it is something you become. Kindness, compassion, and love are the greatest gifts, and they last far longer than any toy.